This text always begins our Lenten journey every year in a rotation of three different versions of it from the three Gospels that have a wilderness experience. I was reading Diana Butler Bass this last 2 days, and she wants to not focus on the temptations like we always do. And I thought, well, do we always do that? Well, it's only been about 30 years for me, and yes, I always do that. But what could she get from looking at the text in a kind of a slant way? What would you get from it? And what she came up with was just the wilderness experience itself. You know, what we get is these three temptations at the very end of 40 days. Now, you go into the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights with nothing with you, not a thing. 40 full days, and all you're going to talk about is the very end, right before you go and get a pizza in town. That's all you talk about? No, people coming back from canoe trips and backpacking trips, they go out, and I've gone out, and every single day has its trials and tribulations, and if you've got friends that are willing to listen to you, it goes on and on and on. All of the things that you endured and all the lessons you learned, we get just at the end. So I was thinking about wilderness today and how we all go into wilderness differently. It's always been interesting that Jesus is baptized, and it's the Spirit that drives him into the wilderness. What a friend, right? You think the Spirit, this is my beloved Son. Now, Spirit, take him out for a celebration dinner. No, now things get hard. It's a wilderness. And I think at some point, Jesus has to agree to it. So it's not like the Spirit made him do it. He had to accept it. And if you've ever been on a canoe trip like Pam, your son, for a month?
No, 50 days.
50 days up into Canada, where, he at least got to swim a lot. Oh no, it's cold. It's really cold, and not to mention the mosquitoes. Nobody mentions the mosquitoes. Oh, I meditated for 40 days.
Black flies.
Let's talk about the mosquitoes and the black flies. All of that. I was thinking about what do we learn in these wilderness times that we willingly take, but also unwillingly take. And that's one question that I have, and I want to share a little bit with you about one of my experiences, but I also want to share with you one of my experiences of watching somebody in the wilderness and being able to do nothing about it. What's more excruciating, right? So my first one is, which one should be the first? The first one should be Nicholas came home. He flew in on Thursday. And those of you, I don't know who Shan is out there. Shannon. It's got to be Shannon. Yeah. Maybe it's not Shannon. Maybe it's Shanophilia, whatever Shan is. If you don't know, our son Nicholas is back in Missoula after having a psychotic break and then being with us to heal. Kind of an extended 6-month hospitalization stay. And we were honored. We were so glad to be able to do that. And he's on his feet again. But he was coming back because one of his dreams for many years has been to ski the Berkey ski race in Cable, Wisconsin, all the way to Hayward. It's only 32 miles of skiing. And it's the biggest race in the country for cross-country skiing. And people fly in from all over the world for this thing. And some 8,000 people ski. 8,000! Let me say 8,000. And the trail at the biggest place in a trail in the whole 32 miles is about maybe 3/4 the size of the width of this room. 8,000 skiers, right? And so he flew in, and Missoula has no snow. and you've got to drive a long ways to get to it. So he's been training with roller skis, on the shoulder of the highway with all the debris, and that's the best he could do. And if you've never skied the Berkey, you get put in the last wave at the very end. Otherwise, if you do ski the Berkey and you have a time signature that you can ski the Berkey in this, then you are bumped up a different wave. So there are 10 waves, and you get put in the back wave with the people that have never skied before even, and what your job is within that constraint of, at the biggest place in the trail, just 30 feet wide, the normal places in the trail about 20 feet wide, to pass thousands of skiers that have fallen, that are bumping into each other, that are blocking the ways, and you're going to try to do your best. So we've been strategizing with him and just saying, and Nicholas, this is going to be a real trial. You're going to have to get out there, and he's a really good skier, and it might be more frustrating. Maybe you should wait until you get a time signature that can bump you up into some of the bigger waves in the front. Nope, I want to do it. I want to come back and do it, and I think I can pull myself together to just ski with people in the back, and it'll be all right. And all right, so that's what he did. There was not a thing we could do about it. So to watch him take off in a sea of humanity, and he's in the middle of that sea of humanity, basically walking, shuffling, and then what you do is you race as fast as you can in a vehicle, and you drive down some county roads, and you get to another place where you could stand and watch him go by, and you watch him, and on the app for his number, it tells you what time the gun went off. It tells you what time he went past the front gate, and it's about 8-minute difference. The gun goes off and you stand there in this crowd and you're making it. And then it tells you what the estimated time that he'll make it to the next point is. And so we're waiting at the next point, and we're waiting at the next point for that time. And he comes flying by doing a 5-minute mile. And he's the third person from the 10,000, the 10th wave. Somehow this guy has managed to make it around all of these people into the third position. And he's skiing with the wave that's coming through that are the 7th wave within the first 45 minutes. And there's nothing we can do about it. Only to say this: he's in the wilderness of people. And this is the wilderness I want to speak of today. It's the wilderness that he was in at home recovering. I'm leaving that alone. He's come a long ways from there to being on skis with all of humanity. And to know how to ski and to know that a 5-minute mile is really fast on skis with 8,000 people, because you're weaving around everybody. And it's a head game. Just like being in the wilderness, it's a head game. What do? Do you get frustrated with people that block you? Do you get frustrated when you get knocked down when they block you? Do you say hello to people? Do you not? Do you listen to people that are cheering for you or yelling at you that you've just upset them? Or it's all head game. And as he went through with the biggest smile and going at a 5-minute a mile pace, which in my mind as a skier in the past that's way too fast. It's way too fast. This guy's going to burn out. And he's going to burn out fast, and it's going to be a tragic thing, and to deal with just the fallout of failure of your first Berkey. you've got 30 miles, 32 miles to go. And there he is, just flying, and everybody's just stunned at his bib number. And so we get in the car, Karen and I, and we race as fast as we can to the next checkpoint, 00. And the whole time Karen's like, the kid is amazing. He's an amazing skier. I said, yeah, I know. You don't feel so excited. I said, oh, I'm excited. I didn't want to give up what was really going on inside of me, and my own wilderness can't do a thing for him. And we park, and we have to run ourselves a half a mile in boots to get to one place to see him in a place that's maybe 15 feet wide, where this bottleneck's coming through. And we get there, and we watch, and we watch, and we watch, and we watch. We're looking at the estimated time that he would come through there with a 5-minute mile pace. And we thought, well, he's not made it at his 5-mile pace. And now we're watching, his dot isn't moving anymore on the app. It's stopped moving about 3/4 of a mile before the place we're standing, and it's not going anywhere. And we're just sick to our stomach. And so there's nothing we can do. Can we walk up the trail? No, nobody on the trail. You know, I've always thought as a kid, you know, Jesus is in the wilderness. He's got nothing. I would have brought him something. I would have snuck him something. Here, have this. Have a little Kool-Aid would be nice, you know. Poor Jesus is out there, nothing to eat, you know. I want to share something. I want to fix, you know me, I want to fix something. Your toilet's running, I can hear it. I'll be right back. I want to do something to make life better, and I can do nothing for him at all. I'm just going to go straight forward. It's less interesting this way, but it's the only way I can do it. So we sat there, and we said, Dot did not move, and then somebody came running up to us. Karen's cousin, his wife, he's in a wheelchair watching for his daughter to come through, but his wife comes running over and says, oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you, Nicholas came through here 10 minutes ago. And it was already half an hour after he was supposed to come through, he came through a total 8 minutes earlier than his dot was expected to do. So he's under 4-minute miles at this point, and then I get even sicker. I thought, well, that would be even worse, wouldn't it? No, you don't burn out, you don't flame out in your first couple miles, but you wait for about 15 miles to do that. You can see it, you can see all the wonder it was perfect conditions, and I can't do anything about it. I feel like I was in the wilderness myself. So, and what we came to find out is his dot was frozen on the app because Karen didn't have any cellular service. It just stopped right there. We thought all this tragedy was happening. The devil is definitely visiting him now and telling him that he needs to do this and this, and he was flying. And so we, it was crazy. And when we saw him come through the first time at a 5-minute mile, he was glowing. He was like Moses on the mountaintop glowing as he came through, and he was smiling, and people, you know, were yelling his name in the skiers. I mean, there were people skiing with him that he didn't know that were talking to him. He's talking to people as he's doing this and making friends. And you know, all that sick feeling, I wish I could have just let it go. But I've got a lot on my mind for the last 7 months, you know, and, you know, he needs this win. He needs to stay focused, and obviously he's not staying focused because you can't keep up that pace unless you are some monstrous Olympic athlete. And he continues and continues, and we miss him at the next 2 checkouts. We can't see him at all, and so we go to the very end of the race in Hayward. And I go out in the middle of the lake, a big lake that they come across to come into town, and Karen and Em and friends go up, and they're up, as I go to the lake, and I'll be danged. Here he comes flying across this lake at this enormous pace that he kept up till the very end of the race. He may be the only person in history that started the Berkey in the 12th position, or the 10th position, and had to pass 4,000 skiers to get into the first wave next year. Just like, it was phenomenal. And then when he stops, he's still glowing. And he says, that was fun. I've never been so relieved. I mean, I could just cry. I've never been so relieved that he didn't flame out and burn out, which is what we do. And it could have been that. It should have been that. And then I could be there. Instead, I can't be there even in the wind. Because all the skiers that were with him, in every bib order, were coming in for an hour afterwards. Nicholas, he's had these conversations with people going up the hills, and every hill, it's a hilly course, every hill that he went up, he'd say, you can do it, come on, where are you from, where are you from? He's talking to all these people. It's like, he's back. He's in his body, and he's back. And he's not back for me or for Karen, because he let us take his picture for a little bit, and then he said, I have to go, there are 3 people. And then he went to be with these people. It was just astounding for him to be in that wilderness after being in another wilderness for so long. And for him to come back afterwards and drive back with us and just say, I just went out to have fun. I knew I'd get stuck at the back, and I was okay with that. So I met a lot of people. And sure enough, at the very end, 4 hours in, he's waiting around to talk to the people in the 10th wave that he was chatting up. So what do you do when you have to witness somebody in a wilderness and there's not a thing you can do? But just be there for them, whether they flame out or whether they do something glorious. What do you do? I don't want to say it's almost harder, but I do it more often in my life, watching people in their own wildernesses and hearing the stories. And the other one is for me learning. I'm glad I never thought I'd be the one to say it, but boy, I'm glad I fell off the roof. People say, cancer is a gift. What? And I don't know anything about that. That seems horrible. But to fall off the roof stopped me in my tracks to show me that I'm a human being. Nothing else ever had. Nothing has ever stopped me. Let me even change that. Falling off the roof did not stop me. Got out of the hospital a couple days later, had my arm set. I couldn't move a leg. And what I said to Karen was, get somebody to get a wheelchair, and I can do church from a wheelchair. This is not a problem. I've got painkillers. I'll just do the wheelchair. And you know what she said. It's not going to happen. And so I was ready to keep going. A friend came over 3 days in to take the shower doors off of our bathtub for the eventuality that I might be able to lift the leg over and get in the tub someday. And I said, let me help you. And I got a walker and I'm dragging a leg to help him do these shower doors until Karen sees me again. drags me down. I'm not going to be stopped by falling off a stupid roof, even if my hip is totally gone. So a week later, it's like, okay, all right, the roof won't do it. How about a blood clot in the lung? And just like a shotgun in my back, and you can't breathe. And that was far more serious. That did me in. The anxiety that came with drowning, because if one lung goes down, one lobe, the other four go with it. It's voluntary. They just all shut down. And you're gasping for air, and I'm on anxiety medications, and I can't stop crying all of a sudden, and then the crying continues for months. And I thought, I'm done. I'm finished. There's nothing I can do. Hey, Dave, I'd like to put up a railing to your basement so that Karen can, don't come. Don't come, because I can't stop crying. That was the wilderness. And it wasn't the fall off the roof. Like, what stops you? What stops you? We're so accustomed to continuing on and on with whatever we do and how we do it, like we're human doings. My life depends upon being a human doing until the day finally comes when I can just sit and cry all the tears of my life that I never have. That was a wilderness. And I'm still learning what that was all about. Other than I can listen to your toilets run on in the background when I visit you, and I don't say a word. Because it's been doing that before I got there. It'll do it after I'm dead. When I drive in your cars, I don't listen to your drive shaft. I don't listen to your brakes that I know are grinding away unless you ask me. It's been so refreshing and liberating to be a human being for these last few years. And I thought stopping drinking was the big show. That was easy. That was easy. My addiction to making your wilderness experiences better is my big addiction. And I guess the gift is you need your wilderness experiences. You need them. I can't take them away from you. It's like, Mom, I can't take your wilderness experience away from you. Or Albert. We need them. So I'm not helping you guys by taking your experiences from you. You got to go through it. And some of you flame out. Most of us flame out. But it's okay. It's not the end. It's not the end. You get up and you get going again. And we're here as a community to love each other, to get back up. Because Jesus fails. He comes out of the wilderness. He's really good and clear with the devil in the wilderness. But he blows it when the devil comes back in his life. Here, heal all these people. Do a magic trick. Feed all these people. It's not feeding one person with a loaf of bread. It's thousands. Did that help them? Well, in the moment. How'd that feel, Jesus? Pretty good? Pretty good. Sometimes all the help we give each other is not the help that we need. So I'm learning. I'm learning to watch you guys up on your roofs. And your car is going on your trip. Yep, we're going to go to California. In that? Yep. No, it sounds good to me. I'm learning to say, that sounds good to me. So forgive me if I'm not the same guy that I used to be. A pre-blood clot to my lungs, I should start saying that. My blood clot in the lungs are what really tamed this little beast. And I give thanks for that time in the wilderness. So, but I've got to say that I smile really big and bright to think of our little boy going from 10th wave to first wave in one fell swoop. I'm just so overjoyed, and I'm a little addicted to it now. I want to see it again. He's just a human being, just like the rest of us. But so don't wish away the present moment, as Karen's late husband used to say, as he was dying of cancer in his bed. Don't wish away the present moment, no matter what it is. This is an amazing place. You're going to give thanks for all the dishes you got to do, and wish one more load of dishes to do at the end of your life, not the hot air balloon ride. Amen.